Alright guys, so the trade war is in full swing and you're probably facing a lot of uncertainty. You might be a bit worried, confused, maybe a bit angry. And I just want to start with this quote by a famous ancient philosopher, which is Laozi. Too busy to find stock ideas? Check out Fire Pro to shortcut your research time and effort by 90%. 10% off link in the comments and description. He's famous for Taoism, and his quote is, those who have knowledge don't predict, those who predict don't have knowledge, which I think is very apt, right?
Yeah, it is, especially for the current market situation with Trump's tariff. A lot of analysts, not only analysts, a lot of people started to become like a full-time economist or analyst or Trump analysis or something like that. But yeah, so they're trying to predict what is Trump's next best move, but then obviously they will always get it wrong because this is what Trump is doing, right? He always say like, I'm going to add, I'm going to remove. I'm going to add, I'm going to remove.
And it's also very important that in his book, The Art of the Deal, he mentions one key thing that he always try to include in his negotiations. So there's a lot of other things as well, but the one thing is that he wants to make sure that the other side is always uncertain of what he thinks and what he's going to do. And that's exactly what we're seeing now. Now he's basically, if you're uncertain, that is his...
Yeah, that's his message. He's trying to do...
That's the whole point.
Yeah. So yeah, today, or at least just yesterday, there was some sort of news reported by Bloomberg. And basically, they mentioned that there will be some sort of tariff exclusion for specific products. So computers, smartphones most likely will be excluded. Then also he applied to chip making equipment, and then there's also some exclusion on the reciprocal tariffs. So suddenly everything started to flip, right? And then the market kind of like rebounded back again. I mean, iPhone also just few days ago, there was a craze to buy. But right now, with this news coming out, I think there will be some sort of sign of relief. Like they don't need to urgently get some iPhone straight away. And then just today only, Trump clarified again with the exemption. So he said that he still need to see which one can be categorized into this temporary exemption. So it's just temporary only, that's the keyword, right? It's not permanent. That shows you how uncertain he is. And then he said that he's gonna come out with a specific list by Monday, US time, Monday, I don't know what time. But then so there's still not much of an information on what is it gonna be, the exemption is gonna be like. So and basically he's just trying to say that he's still hating on China and he wants to make America great again.
Yeah, I think the key was that if you go back, the news was posted. So it's not technically in this case a flip-flop, right? Because it's promoted, or this news was released by this guy, Walter Bloomberg. He was the one that released the 90-day pause, right? So a lot of people respect him. But this was not from the Trump administration, right? So I guess that's where Trump, and then I think one of his other guys, Lutnick, came out and to say, actually we are trying to, we are reviewing, right, the whole supply chain before deciding.
Yeah, basically that one is something, this is also something like a leak like that, but they're still in discussion, something like the 90-day pause.
Yeah, no surprise. That's why the news is not fully accurate as to what Trump wants.
Yeah, enough of predicting, because today we're just going to be talking about what we know on the ground, at least based on past information on his trade war. So number one is that we know for a fact that China is trying to surpass the US already. I mean, you can see that they already have a lot of those ASML equivalent chip. They have their own TSMC also, and they're trying hard to be more self-sufficient without relying on the big countries like the US. So this is a fact already. And that's why it is a threat to the US and also even Trump that he thinks that, they want to maintain some sort of the world order. He wants to maintain the bigger power among the countries. So this is a fact already that we know. That's number one. Number two, we know that the US have a huge debt with under a high interest rate. And you can see that this is their debt to GDP ratio. It is about, this is actually grown a little bit. It's about 123%. So we know that why Trump is being so aggressive with all of these policies is because he has a big problem that he needs to solve, which is to actually, refinance some of the debt with lower interest rate.
And a lot of them actually mature this year.
This year.
Or this
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
right?
correct. This
9,
year-
9 trillion, 6 or 9
Yeah.
trillion, something like
So
that.
it's like these coming few months, April, May, June already. I think a huge chunk will be coming around May and June. That's why he is. You notice his Twitter. He always say that Trump, the Fed has to cut the rate now.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
everything is have to cut. So yeah, so we know that he is trying his best to encourage the Fed to cut the rates. Number 3 is we know that he is unpredictable. So first day he'll say this, the next day maybe you say a different thing. So expect the unexpected lah. Okay, the 4th one, it is definitely because of his flip-flopping, right? His unpredictable nature. It will definitely paralyze business activities. You can see that already our Malaysian exporter have like put on hold on some of the US shipment amid tariff those confusion. China recently actually reported their export data. So they actually exported more before, I think it was around February-ish. So that was before the increase in
The tariffs.
the tariff, yeah. And they are trying to front load a lot of things before the 150% tariff that's hit by them.
It's 145. But I think it's worth pointing out that even if we include the proposed tariff list, someone did a math online, the average tariff on China will only drop from 145 to 104%. And because of the minis rule that came in, where basically any product below
800, then they can go in
still
for free.
apply. Yeah. So in the past it was free. Now it's not. It's still going to be quite hurting for exporters.
Yeah. So that's also another thing. So you can kind of expect that this quarter, particularly for March, April, May, maybe even going forward, their growth would start to like drop. So don't be surprised if, let's say, exporting companies report bad numbers. Okay, the 5th point, it is that he is pro fossil fuel.
Yeah.
So when you see the Brent oil price go down, this is something that he likes. Obviously, he wants more it to be more lower, so that
and also it helps reduce trade deficits.
Yes.
Because the US is the largest exporter, I believe now, natural gas and all that.
Yeah, correct. And also, it's a cheap way for them to like run their electricity and all those kind of things. The cost of production will kind of like go down. That's why he likes it. Next one is obviously a deal will happen sooner. I think as soon as we can expect it. Definitely, these two guys, Mr. Xi Jinping and also Trump, will sit down and they will start to talk.
Is that a prediction?
Yeah, I think sooner or later also definitely they will start to like talk things out. This is to be expected already. The next one, last two, there will be 2 economic blocks. Basically, one will be Team China, the other one will be Team the US. So you need to see which Asian country will be supporting which big powerhouses. It's going to be hard to be neutral already at this point. In 2018, we still can be neutral, but after the US know that China is using another route, which is the ASEAN route, and also other global South countries, then they'll start to get more, restrictive. So that's why there will be 2 economic blocks that will be occurring. Now, last but not least is that, unfortunately, the non-US market, excluding China, will suffer the most. The reason why is because there will be a huge influx of Chinese-made products that cannot be sold to the US, might start to come to ASEAN countries. I think
we are the
particular,
largest, I think, export destination
destination.
for China.
Yes, and also we bought a lot of import from them also. So probably the import number will grow, and especially right now, Xi Jinping is coming to Malaysia and have some discussion with Malaysia, right? So probably there will be some discussion on like import, what to buy and what to sell. But expect that Chinese-made products will be throwing at a very, very low price, and which could hurt our domestic producers. So also not so good for ASEAN. I think ASEAN country will be the one that is getting hit the most. Any developing country for that instance.
Yeah, but there's already a response, I think, in Vietnam, some parts of Indonesia.
Yes,
where
correct.
there's talks of tariffs and things like that already.
Again, so it's going back to the economic blocks of whether are they going to still be friend with China, or they're going to be more friend with the US. Okay, and the last but not least is that obviously a lot of people think that recession probably is going to be cancelled out because he had a 90-day pause, and also he's being more lenient with his tariff. But you need to see that the 10 minus 2 is still at around 0.5, 0.6, 0.5, and also if let's say it hurts the economy, or let's say the inflation doesn't really taper that that lower than expected. So most likely the interest rate will be maintaining at high level at 4.2 to 4.5% for quite some time. And also the Fed, actually, they are looking a lot on the PCE data, which is their consumption expenditure, personal consumption expenditure. So that number is still around 2.8%. I believe their target is around like 2%-ish. But that's their bull case. I'm not sure whether they can still continue with the 2% or maybe they want to like be more conservative and maybe put 2.5-ish or something like that. But yeah, so it's still on the loom because of the tariff uncertainty. Business activity got on halt a lot. So that's why in general, I think most companies will be reporting weakening in terms of growth, at least for this coming quarter or the next few quarters. So make sure to not go all in at the moment. Make sure you still have some sort of like spare cash on the side, just in case like the worst do happen and you're ready to take advantage of this. So yeah, we talk about all of this latest update, and we also got to share about the end game on Trump's tariff in our news update inside Fire Pro. So if you want to get hold of all of this information, it is inside the Fire Pro Telegram group. I know some of you guys who are inside Fire Pro but haven't joined the Telegram group, so make sure to join it. The links, you can see the tutorial on how to access this inside there. And for those new users, you can get Fire Pro at a 10% discount using the link in the description and comments. So March, this one is good. Today? Yeah, so far April slowly is climbing back up.
Yeah, in the past 2 days, right?
Yeah.
So this is for those of you who don't know, Fire Pro is our community. It's our little secret community where people get to learn about different companies, how to position their portfolio in this sort of volatile market. Read up on write-ups for each of these companies. Use our portfolio as references to build your own personalized portfolio. If you like dividend companies, we also have a portfolio for that. This is the boring portfolio. If you want to get a taste, it's all in the free sample section. The link is in the description and comment section below. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.